君たちだけが負傷している。嘘つけない人。
え？
正面から書いてもいいわよ。話してください。
この制服。
やめてください。警察呼びますよ。
Number 10. Bem. Young detective Sonia Summers has been transferred to the outskirts of the port city Libra after stirring up trouble with her superiors. Libra is separated into two sectors, the upper, the center of wealth and politics, and the outside. The outside is home to crime, corruption, and curious incidents involving monstrosities or yokai. Each case that Sonia works on seems to implicate the involvement of these mysterious creatures. Sonia crosses paths with three peculiar humanoid yokai, Bem, Bella, and Belo, who seek to protect humans and fight against the evil yokai that terrorize them. Living as yokai ningen, they are excluded by other yokai for their human-like lifestyles, and rejected and hurt by humans when they reveal their true form. Despite the hardship they face, these three yokai ningen secretly live among humans, continuing to pursue their dreams of one day becoming human as well.
No matter what the world thinks, I know the truth. What he did for me that day is something that I'll never forget.
Synopsis, what are you fighting for? Give me a break with the hero.
Number 9. Armed Blue Gunvolt. In the near future, there are people with special powers called Sevens. It seems like the country has maintained peace by a company called Sumeragi Group, but they're the ones who captured the people with the special power by force and did inhumane experiments. Gunvolt, the main character who has the power of 7, used to be in Feather, a resistance group who fought against the Sumeragi Group. The story begins with meeting the heroine, Sion. Number 8. Finland Saga. Young Thorfinn grew up listening to the stories of old sailors that had traveled the ocean and reached the place of legend, Finland. It's said to be warm and fertile, a place where there would be no need for fighting. Not at all like the frozen village in Iceland where he was born, and certainly not like his current life as a mercenary. War is his home now. Though his father once told him, "You have no enemies, nobody does. There's nobody who it's okay to hurt." As he grew, Thorfinn knew that nothing was farther from the truth. The war between England and the Danes grows worse with each passing year. Death has become commonplace and the Viking mercenaries are loving every moment of it. Allying with either side will cause a massive swing in the balance of power, and the Vikings are happy to make names for themselves and take any spoils they earn along the way. Among the chaos, Thorfinn must take his revenge and kill the man who murdered his father, Asklad. The only paradise for Vikings, it seems, is the era of war and death that rages on. Number 7. Engelmois, Genko Kaisenki. The scary Great King comes from the other side of the sea. The big incident Genko that shook medieval Japan is being drawn in an original way in this historical anime, along with the beginning of the samurai. Trickster and Ogawa Ranpo Shonen Titan Dan Yori. Kagoro Akechi is the founder of a private investigation firm known as the Boys Detective Club. Together, this group takes on cases both great and small. One of their junior members, Kensuke Hanasaki, is out solving a case one day when he happens upon Yoshino Kobayashi, a mysterious amnesiac boy with an inability to die. After seeing his abilities in action, Kensuke offers Yoshio a deal. Join the boys' detective club and help them solve cases, and in exchange, they will find a way to help Yoshio die. The apathetic Yoshio accepts this deal begrudgingly, unaware of how different his life will become. Although he does not have much use for people, he gradually begins to acknowledge the group as he spends more time with them while solving cases. Trickster follows Akechi and the rest of the boys' detective club as they solve the various cases they are given, all while combating a hidden threat from the shadows, the Fiend with 20 faces. Darker Than Black Kuro no Keiakusha. It has been 10 years since Heaven's Gate appeared in South America and Hell's Gate appeared in Japan, veiling the once familiar night sky with an oppressive skyscape. Their purposes unknown, these gates are spaces in which the very laws of physics are ignored. With the appearance of the gates emerged contractors, who in exchange for their humanity are granted supernatural abilities. In the Japanese city surrounding Hell's Gate, Section 4 Chief Misaki Kirihara finds herself at odds with an infamous contractor codenamed Hei. Called Black Reaper in the underground world, Hei, like his associates, undertakes missions for the mysterious and ruthless syndicate while slowly peeling back the dark layers covering a nefarious plot that threatens the very existence of contractors. From the mind of Tensei Okumura comes a sci-fi thriller taking the form of a subtle expose on a war in which political positions and justice have no sway. A war waged exclusively in the shadows. "91 Days. As a child living in the town of Lawless, Angelo Lagusa has witnessed a tragedy. His parents and younger brother have been mercilessly slaughtered by the Venetti Mafia family. Losing everything he holds dear, he leaves both his family and hometown behind, adopting the new identity of Avilio Bruno. 7 years later, Avilio finally has his chance for revenge when he receives a mysterious letter prompting him to return to Lawless. Obliging, he soon encounters the Venetti Don's son, Nero, and seeks to befriend him using the skills he has quietly owned for years. Set in the Prohibition area, 91 Days tells the story of Avilio's dark, bloodstained path to vengeance, as he slowly ends each of the men involved in the killing of his family.
This is the future. This is the future.
Kubikiri Cycle, Aora Savant to Zaragoto Tsukai. Due to a mysterious disease, the genius Iria Akagami has been forced by her family to stay in a mansion on the isolated Wet Crow's Feather Island with only a handful of maids. To keep herself entertained, Iria invites a variety of fellow geniuses to stay as guests in her home, including computer savant Tomo Gunagisa and her unnamed assistant, skilled fortune teller Maki Himena, famous artist Kanami Ubiki, academic scholar Akane Sonoyama, and renowned cook Yayoi Sashirono. These visits progress as normal until one of the guests is found gruesomely murdered in the night without a single clue as to the identity of the killer or a possible motive. Tensions rise between those on the island as the killer remains at large, and Tomo's assistant takes it upon himself to uncover the culprit's identity before the murderous events progress any further. Jormungand. Brought up in a conflict-ridden environment, child soldier Jonathan Jonah Marr hates weapons and those who deal them. But when Koko Hekamadyar, an international arms dealer, takes on Jonah as one of her bodyguards, he has little choice but to take up arms. Along with Koko's other bodyguards, composed mostly of former Special Ops soldiers, Jonah is now tasked with protecting Koko and her overly idealistic goal of world peace from the countless dangers that come from her line of work. Jormungand follows Koko, Jonah, and the rest of the crew as they travel the world selling weapons under the international shipping company HCLI. As Koko's work is illegal under international law, she is forced to constantly sidestep both local and international authorities while doing business with armies, private militaries, and militias. With the CIA always hot on a trail and assassins around every corner, Jonah and her crew must guard Coco and her dream of world peace with their lives or die trying.
Evolution. Evolution.
Zankyou no Terror. Painted in red, the word Vaughn is all that is left behind after a terrorist attack on a nuclear facility in Japan. The government is shattered by their inability to act, and the police are left frantically searching for ways to crack down the perpetrators. The public are clueless, until 6 months later a strange video makes its way onto the internet. In it, 2 teenage boys who identify themselves only as Sphinx directly challenge the police, threatening to cause destruction and mayhem across Tokyo. Unable to stop the mass panic quickly spreading through the city and desperate for any leads in their investigation, the police struggle to act effectively against the terrorist, with Detective Kenjiro Shibazaki caught in the middle of it all. Zankyou no Terror tells the story of 9 and 12, the 2 boys behind the masked figure of Sphinx. They should not exist, yet they stand strong in a world of deception and secrets while they make the city fall around them, all in the hopes of burying their own tragic truth.
Alright everyone, that's it for today's video. Did you guys enjoy this list? Or find any anime you're interested in? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments, and please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you're new, remember to turn on notifications for more upcoming top 10 videos.